Shit. Here we go again. Hi, everybody. This game came out, like, I think 2 days ago. And it's finally time for me to start suffering. Yeah, just a general suffering, you know? I enjoy, I am suffering. And what better way to get that suffering in than to play some fucking just Pathfinder. A game in which I have a very love-hate relationship. We join the struggle against the world wound, the epic war between Galarian and the Abyss that has raged for more than 100 years. Up to now, the Crusader armies have barely managed to curb the overwhelming enemy forces, but not for much longer. The Demon Lords are preparing to strike a decisive blow. You will have to harness mythical powers, take command of the Fifth Crusade, and lead it against the demonic hordes. They're playing normal. I'm fine with that. I've tried playing on a harder mode on the other one, and let me just tell you, oh boy. I think right. I want to try doing a paladin. I think we should do good, right? Last time we did evil, and you know, one of my issues with this game is that you know, the what's the word I'm looking for? The system in which they talk. The alignment system is a bit rigid in terms of stuff like that. So you know, and I think, you know, we just want to do a good guy this time. Last time we were evil, and you know, I'm bad, and that's good. And they really aren't. Oh, okay. There's the Kingmaker ones. And I could be Valerie. Jod. I would like the ability to add more of these in here. And, you know, there is. I can just... Okay. Well, I wish you could change them later because I don't have a PNG to put in there. But, you know. It's fine. That is dandy. It's pretty cool. I don't even know what, like, race, you know. I could be a I could be a furry or a vampire or some kind of crystal guy. But to be honest, right, I kind of want to just do human cleric, not cleric. I mean, I don't want to be a furry. Vulpine shapeshift is known for the love of both trickery and art. It's two forms: an active human, slender, with salient eyes. Or fox. I want to. What is it? What do you mean, like anthropomorphic? Okay, just like a regular fox with anthropomorphic. Well, it just seems. It's very weird. I don't. It's very weird. I just want to play paladin, you know. I think, right. What better? I mean, obviously, it's the obvious choice, which means that most people are probably doing it, you know. Hospitalier. It still also prefers female pronouns. I hate using that term specifically, but still. Like, I'm a human man. Well, a human man, please. Maybe the game knows, and that's why it's trying to call me a girl. She does not gain divine spellcasting. I think that seems kind of cool. I don't want to be a dwarf. The thing is, right? Like I've seen a couple posts about it, right? Like, you know, jeez, they've actually really changed this stuff, huh? is it? I don't understand why this game is very focused on calling me a woman. Could I play like AU? Jeez Louise. What does the Paladin give me? Paladin gives me knowledge, lore, persuasion, knowledge, arcana, lore, religion. I think taking the martial discipline. I just always wonder why, like, you know. I'm fine with just, you know. This is my job. I was a man in service of the church, and it is my job to protect the weak. And of course I'm going to the World Wound to assist, you know, my brethren. That. Yeah, wisdom. Oh, I was because hover over wisdom. I don't have to be a smart boy. You know, I may have suffered a little bit in terms of the book smarts to focus more on assisting. But I'm good at talking, and I'm good at running, and that's all I really need. Do I get feats this early? Jeez Louise. I don't really know what weapon we're going to focus on yet. So I'm going to go ahead and hold off on that until we see a little bit more of what we're going to get with our... They've really changed up the feel of the UI here. I think it possibly. We might try to focus on two-handed weapons, because not many characters use two-handed weapons. However, toughness seems fine, because we're probably going to get the shit beaten out of us. I don't think deceitful. You know, I think we're going to play a very holy man, right? Because, like, right, I feel like the obvious choice is, you know, paladin of some form of faith within this. Maybe inquisitor. And, you know, that makes it probably going to be less likely to be picked, you know? Additional skill point per level. Skill points is just the, Humans in... Minor... Okay, that's probably... That might be good again. That might also be good. Also, I don't know how mountain combat's gonna work, but that seems kind of cool. I should craft scrolls during camping. That doesn't seem like my kind of thing, but it seems cool. I'm not sure if we're going to use a shield or not, so I'm not going to take that yet. I'm still... If you watch me play the original game, I kind of play it all a little bit by ear, and I think that's fine, right? I'm not min-maxing, I'm not playing on a super hard difficulty, but I'm playing on a hard enough difficulty that, you know. Targeted spell check against opponent... I think the Iron Will. What is it? Plus the bonus on will saves. Oh, also it looks like it says prerequisite. Oh, okay, that's cool. I do like that it tells you now the prerequisites for getting those skills. Like so, like oh, this is good for getting mounted shield or shield focused mythic or greater shield focus. That's actually really nice. That's very nice. It seems to have cleaned it up very nicely, and I like that. I know the games aren't all that far apart in terms of I'll take Iron Will. I imagine the History of Terrors is probably good in general, but will saving throws and mind affecting saves should be the same thing technically. Shaylin's the artsy fartsy, which I don't think is good. Well, not, you know. Avatar, God of cities, law, merchant, and wealth, also called the God of walls and ditches. And then the patient deity, maintaining a strong, neutral stance in his actions, he sets forth to expand civilization. Wrestling the old Deadeye, and Stag God, one of the old human gods to worship the inner sea. Concerned with family, farming, hunting, and trade. The Inheritor, Light of the Sword, Lady of Valor, the goddess of righteous valor, justice, and honor. Having served, ooh, this seems like a good choice. The main's glory, good, law, sun, war. Could take a longsword. I mean, that seems like a good idea, right? Taking a longsword and doing that. Can't remember. Bastard sword's one-handed. Longsword might be one-handed? Question mark. Healing, knowledge, law, rune, strength. Fire, glory, good, healing. Sun. Serenade was boy. The boy. I like you know. Having served as Eridan's herald, she inherited many of the last Azanti's powers. Upon his death, he used to espouse his ideals of honor and righteousness in the defense of good and the battle against evil. And you know what? Very fucking themed. I like it. We can't only pick lawful good. That is fine. I like that you just be like just a fucking fat guy who's just really out of shape for some reason. Can we get the Valerie where it's just across her entire fucking face? I do like. I kind of like following the image because I like the image. The image looks like very like, you know, looks nice. Not that white specifically. Like, you know, he's starting to get up there in age, and that's fine. You know, it's just like face paint now. Primary colors. Let's see. Maybe for like a silver and a silver look to it. Because she's like silver and gold. Oh, that's fine. I do think maybe a longsword would be fine. We can pick it up next. It's just, you know.
Let us press on.
Sounds perfect. His name shall be. We're gonna try something pronounceable this time, rather than a good old Jordan who just had all the fucking vowels. His name shall be It's always hard to think of, like, you know, just a generic human name that doesn't sound like, you know, oh mate, it's fucking Steve from the church. He's a paladin, eh? You know. You know, good old Billy Bob the paladin. It's fucking no, it isn't, you know. It's a meme, sure, but you know, I want something semi-serious. Plus, like, you know, you got Tristan. You had, like, what? I guess technically Jordan did kind of fit in with, like, Tristan, Harem. Doesn't seem all that out of place. But then again, it's probably because I played it for so long. It was, like, some 40-odd episodes. Who knows how fucking... Well, episodes seem streams. Who knows how long this is going to take. tall. Man. I do like a Wilhelm. Nah. I do like when, like, I tried to make a character once based kind of like a little bit off the guy from like it's the same kind of feeling of Wilhelm from like Borderlands. He's like just the mercenary out for the money, but he had like, you know, a heart of gold. Dirt. Why is naming the hardest fucking part? I can did all the other shit that, you know what? I like Emode. How do you even pronounce the god's name? Who knows? Just Frank. Sullivan. Sure. Now we close our eyes and we just start clicking. And stop. And then and stop. Bam. The 5th of Rova.
Defeat is not an option.
Well, you see, I like that. Inspire rage. Mini scald. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What's a scald? Treat affliction, you know. Yeah, we can use some heavy armor. We can be kind of like a little bit of a tank. I think that's fine. I'm starting to get a little bit of my, Cool. Let's get into it. It only took us 20 minutes. A little shy of it, but you know. It's good. Making good time. Now don't worry. We'll lose all of that time when it comes to reading. My reading is subpar. Haha. It's funny because it's true. I wonder who the character's going to be in this. I really am interested. I don't know anything about it. I didn't know a bit about Pathfinder, or the Kingmaker when we played. What was that me? Make way! Come through! Fetch a healer! Quick! Just drop my ass!
Hey, somebody! We got a wounded fighter. Can we get a healer over here?
My, would you look at this? But why would you drag a wounded fighter into the middle of the festival square? Couldn't he be carted off somewhere else, like, oh, I don't know, an infirmary? Or an accommodating ditch?
Make room, everyone. Step back. Now, what's the matter? What happened to him? The wound looks nasty. Who did this to him? Demons, Prelate. We found him barely alive outside the walls of Canabris.
God, that voice, I did not do an appropriate voice for that guy.
Walls, you say? Enemy doesn't usually stray so close to the city. Must fortify the defenses. And you, hold fast. Don't die. We'll see you right.
I wonder if some, like, I feel like he's gonna be a character, right? And that woman who was like, "Can we get a healer,
Patched up now.
please?"
You there, guard. Take his weapons. Bearing arms is not permitted during the festival. Wounded or not, everyone must abide by the rules. He can get his things back after the festival.
That doesn't sound like it's gonna be a fucking terrible like thing that's gonna happen. Oh, we've taken his weapons, we put them away, we just locked them up.
Leader of our troops, the sharpened edge of our blades and the unyielding strength of our armor. Iomade, I beseech you.
Oh, he's of my god.
Heal his wounds.
Won't give up that easily.
Hear, hear. That's the Crusader spirit. My powers are not enough here. Someone call for Terendelev. You there. Yes, you. Stop dithering and gawping and make yourself useful. Go and get Terendelev.
Get him.
Prelate, surely there is somebody else here better suited to running errands.
I'll get her! Terendelev!
Has anyone seen Turendelev?
Be quick about it before it's too late. Now, who are you? I don't remember seeing you before, and I have an excellent memory for faces.
Crusader, I came to fight demons.
Oh, Iomedes saved me from Greek recruits. They come without planning, without preparation, and they die before they even see their first real battle.
I don't know.
I don't know whether to laugh or cry at the utter waste of it all.
I feel like maybe I should have, maybe I should have picked something else. But, you know. So I've been training in this for like 30 years.
For the sake of the festivities, stop interrogating this poor man. He has been through enough already. Go on. I'll take care of him.
No, she doesn't have a picture.
All right, as you wish. You are our protector, and a dragon at that.
Oh.
I shall defer to your wisdom. Be on your guard. I've been informed he was wounded near Canabras. That means the demons are prowling just outside the walls, and the city is crawling with their spies. Others may be able to relax on this holiday, but not you or I. Not the defenders of this city.
I would have federal this. I was just sneak attacked, sneak attacked, snuck and attacking.
Pry loose the grudging grip of pain. Cast off the veil of suffering flesh. Let light and life go forth in triumph to repel the skulking shade of death.
As long as she speaks. Sure, I like that. It's very cool. Like the way healing, like maybe like a very interesting prayer.
I accept your thanks, but my work is not yet done. My name is Turendelev. I'm the protector of the city. You don't believe me? Perhaps I should retake my true form and engulf this square with my ice breath to win your trust. Pay no mind to my current guise. I appear this way when I walk among the people. I would hamper the festivities if I tried to attend in my true form. I do not know yet, and that troubles me. I am not entirely sure what the demons did to you. This wound is no ordinary injury, and it was inflicted by no ordinary weapon. I have rid you of your pain and restored your strength, but only time will allow you to heal fully. Certainly, but be careful. I have managed to get you back on your feet.
Look at that red hair.
You fully. Alas, sooner or later, your pain will return. But do not be discouraged. You will recover, I promise you that. Tomorrow, come to the cathedral and say that you are expected by Turendelev, protector of Canabras. We will find a way to help you. But for now, put this out of your mind and enjoy the festival. They are all too rare in this time of war, and merriment is one of the best medicines.
Like how her title, you have to tell about the title every time. Oh, I thought you meant Turendelev, the guy who, the woman who cleans the fucking bathrooms. Not the protector of the city, Turendelev. It's a very common name around here, you know? Have fun! Yeah, it's a good quest. Thank you, I'm more than fine. Let's see, there's a lot of nobles. So I'm gonna leave the tutorial on purely because I think it might be in. Oh, an Aldori. Aldori were the interactive things, objects such as doors. Right click. I love a drink me, especially when the city's footing the bill. What do you say, another round? Okay, they don't want to talk to me. Is that the, woman? Dude, that's gonna make me walk up the thing. Look at that fucking tambourine player. I feel like they're holding it wrong. But they are just going fucking ham. I mean, not to mention the fucking loop, or what, loop lyre, I don't know what the instrument specifically would be. You can really hear the flute, though. Horace Gwyrm. That's the guy who, helped me, I think? I don't know. Social. Get in! Bullseye! Oh. Look at those fucking crow people. Crow demons are also known as cremins. Jeez, I'm so glad they took my fucking weapons. Wow. That mouse out of the way. Oh.
Let the feast begin.
Well, fuck me.
Discari himself. Blimey. One minute we had a dragon. The next, bam, she was gone. What are we gonna do? Fight or flee? If flee is your plan, let me help you out. I've got a scroll here with a good protective spell.
I'll try fighting the demons.
Here, take this. Best crossbow I've got.
See, I gotta help, man.
Said it could pierce the
They
heart
killed
of a
somebody of
demon
my
lord
church.
even. Good luck. Try not to get eaten now.
So, sorry, the demon god of Locust just appeared, and he gave me a fucking crossbow. He said, yeah, this can kill demon gods. I'm like, okay.
A mortal gnat snaps its jaws at the Lord of Locusts. Behold, Ione. Behold the death I sow.
Getting to move that mouse out. It really should make the mouses appear during a cutscene. Just me and my dumb ass staring and watching the fucking cutscene happen and like, mouse cursor, yes. Yes, I want that.
The silver dragon, Terendaleb, the defender of Canabras, fell in battle. Hardly surprising, as she had to fight the demon lord Discari himself. He willed the land to part and swallow all who dared to stand in his way. But the war was still far from over.
I mean, God, I guess she wasn't like an ancient dragon or anything. Probably just an adult, but even then, they're not. I don't know what the difference, especially in Pathfinder. The difference between a
Holy mother of...
small woman, messy brown hair, winces in pain, uttering a stream of curses through clenched teeth. She's pinned to the ground by a couple of weighty boulders.
Hey, stay with me. You actually got pretty lucky. You fell down into a black hole. But at least you're not on your own. You've got a great companion. Everything's going to be just fine. Tell me something. Can you feel your legs?
I feel him all right. Wouldn't say no to a little less feeling in him. My ankle's killing me, but my back seems to still be in one piece. My head, too.
Oh, what, this isn't 5e. I'm allowed to have wheelchair-bound companions.
That's all that matters. Now, we're going to... You aren't injured, are you? Will you help me get her out from under the boulders?
Guess I succeeded. Summoning all your strength, you managed to lift the rocks up enough to free the wounded woman. Cool.
Damn it all. I think it's broken. Oh well, I've had worse. I'll just make myself a splint out of something. Thanks for the help. I wouldn't have lasted long on my own stuck under there. I'm Anevia Tirabade, of the Eagle Watch. I was overseeing security at the festival square. I thought maybe spies or demon worshippers might have something nasty planned. What actually happened, though, now that I did not see coming. I don't think anyone could have been prepared for that.
What, you mean the Demon Lord himself showing up, summoning like 50 fucking demons, beheading a dragon, and jumping over the walls?
Well, I'm Sela,
As if it were just a
paladin
fucking...
by the grace of Iomade, I crossed the whole continent to come to Mendev and fight demons. And well, I've been fighting for a while now.
Something tells me she's not going to be staying with
I
me.
don't even want to think what might be happening up there in the city.
Little conflict of
Canobras
interests.
has lost the protection of Terendelev, and of the Wardstone too, looks like. It's a relic without equal. It was placed here personally by Iomede's herald, with the goddess's blessing. I really wanted to go see it, to pray before it. But there's no point worrying about a stone when there are people dying in the streets.
Yeah, things are looking grim enough, but don't lose heart. Wardstone or no, dragon or no, Canobras will never give in. Simple as.
Simple as my...
Well, we've introduced ourselves. What about you?
That seems fine. Just want to make sure that there isn't a better one. She shakes your hand firmly.
Fellow Crusader! Welcome, brother. This is great. I would have been happy to have any companion in this, but it's nice to be stuck down here with somebody who's my kind of crazy.
I wouldn't go that
It's
far.
a good thing you've still got your faith. Because right now, to be totally honest, faith's probably the only thing we do have.
Well, you gotta have faith, faith, faith.
Pull my way out of here somehow. The city ain't far.
Oh,
only
I'm fucking
30 paces
hell-bent
or
on
so.
clapping today.
That's if you're going straight up, of course.
Absolutely retarded.
I'm afraid we're gonna have
Me.
to go the long way round.
It's a lot of
To
brain damage.
summarize, there are 3 of us with 5 working legs, 3 pairs of decent hands, 2 clear heads, and 1 made of wood. That's mine. Underground monsters beware! Anevia, you stay behind us. You're in no fit state to fight. If we do come up against anything, the 2 of us will try to manage on our own first. Well, onward! May the good deities lead us back to the open skies soon.
Okay. That's one of them. Yep. 1 through 6. What does the Control A work?
Rely on me.
Okay, let's see. Longsword is one-handed, so we'll probably end up using it with a shield. Okay, 1 to 8 or 1 to 8, same thing, really. Same difference. Yeah, I imagine we're not going to keep her, realistically. Oh, okay. So we can't set our own. Oh, we can. Trendle scale. Store life to deceased party member, raise creature, number of hit points equal to the current HD. Okay, so it's just a it's a res. It is our scroll, signed scroll of Revive Dead.
Who's there?
Fine apparel of this young half-elf woman is torn, stained with blood, dust, and dirt. However, she holds herself with dignity, with such dignity that you would be forgiven for thinking you were at a high society party, and not in the dank catacombs under the city. Her fingers grip her rapier's hilt with confidence, ready to draw it on a moment's notice. At her feet lies a dead body, so mutilated that at first glance it's hard to tell if it's an animal or human.
Relax, friend. We're not demons or cultists.
We're not
keep my eye on
cultists.
nothing, all right? We fell down here during the attack. I'm Sela, that's Anevia, and this is our new friend. We're looking for a way back to the surface.
Really? I'm so ever glad to hear it. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Camellia. I was also in the square when... I can scarcely believe it. How did all those demons get into the city? I thought, naively it now seems, that the Wardstone protected us from attack. And Terendelev, I can't wrap my head around it.
Oh, okay. The goddess Iomade sent an inheritor to put down the Waystone.
I can't argue with that. We're fortunate to be alive, albeit underground.
Daskari himself has come to Canabras. There's no mistaking that ugly mug. Terendelev tried to fight him, but what could she do against a near deity? Even the Wardstone was no help. Our city used to be protected by powerful forces, but now...
We've seen how powerless they truly are. Henceforth, we shall have no one but ourselves to rely on, I suppose. Certainly. Survivors should stick together. It's only sensible. Who knows what else could be prowling about in these caves?
What happened to this poor man? Oh, I wonder what happened.
I don't know. He must have been in the square when disaster struck. I tried to revive him, but he was already dead, sadly.
He didn't get these wounds from the fall. Be on your guard.
I mean,
Whatever killed him,
it could have been one of
likely
like the
has not
fucking
fought.
20 like slicer demons that showed up
Hang
before
on.
we got
I
shut
think
down the
I
hole.
know him. His name's Aravashniel, the egghead from the library. He was a good lad, even if he was kind of stuck up. May his soul rest in peace.
Oh, not Aravashniel.
That's right.
Who's that?
It would be
Who
the
is
height
that?
of foolishness to survive a demon attack only to perish under a pile of rubble.
Let's see if this poor bloke has anything useful on him. Not to sound like a heartless brigand or nothing, but we kind of need all the supplies we can get right now.
That's the truth. And Camilla has the ability to cure light wounds.
Well,
After the battle, you dismiss area. Oh, that's nice. And she's a bit hurt, but she's a spirit hunter, whatever that means. He's got a masterwork dagger. Oh boy, I'm so glad. Dark places such as caves, I haven't seen anything. There are two main ways: light spell, burning torch. Do she have spell? It's not usually that much of an issue, really.
Let us not hesitate.
Can I that? There we go. I kind of thought it was gonna be a shield, to be honest.
I will not falter.
Save the last one for me.
Guess pause. She already has her thing set as first. That works for me. That works for me. Missiles behind her. Escort down the grounds. 1 minute to any weapon she's holding. That's fine. Wow, an Eva. Is F5 still quick save? Yes, it is. What do you guys got? A whole gold coin. A wee bit of patterned armor. Small buttons. It's just, you know. It's been a little bit since we played Pathfinder, so you know. Forgive my stupidity. Another skill. It feels bad, man. Why are we so far back? Pausing the attack speed. I mean, I understand it's auto, but like, why is she so far behind? Like,
Together we stand.
They will break against our resolve.
check. Yep, I know what initiative is. Thank you. Actions per intimidates mode. Yep, thank you. 5-foot step.
I'll cut you wide open.
What happened to Luna's Archer Girl? I mean, up obviously means out, right? So
Do not fear. Do not waver.
let's see if we can see if there's anything else down here. You know. I do like the spell.
The spirits demand your blood.
Do not hold back.
Deny him his turn.
You are today's sacrifice.
Jeez Louise, girl. Yes, braces of armor, very helpful, very great. I love braces of armor. My favorite. Armor bonuses, yeah. Yeah, no, it says it right there, huh? Maybe they added that. This one, maybe, you know. Maybe I just can't read. Maybe. Just maybe it's Maybelline. Sorry, no, it's just 'cause last game I spent a lot of time wearing armor bracers on characters who were wearing armor, not realizing that there was a issue with that.
The heartbeat quickens.
I like how, you know, there are, of course, giant demons above the city. And there's just, you know,
Strike as one.
there are giant demons above the city attacking. And we're just out here fighting, like, big old flies. Quick ingredient. Definitely gonna use that. Brew potions or scribe scrolls. That seems to be a new mechanic that definitely gotta have trouble remembering.
They will break against our resolve.
Slay on hands. Smite evil.
Attack!
I'll cut you wide open.
Let's provide a little bit of range support right now because I don't have a shield.
We shall overcome.
Shooting into combat. Okay. I didn't know there was a penalty for shooting into combat. I mean, I guess it makes sense, you know, you're trying not to hit your friend. It's fine. Skin don't amount to much. Lalem. Lalalum.
No, I can't just walk
What the
away.
fuck?
It's got to be here somewhere.
You struggle to make out the man's features in the gloom. As soon as he steps in the circle of light, however, you realize you've encountered a creature like this before. The stranger looks at the work of a vivisectionist who attempted to stitch together a lizard and a man.
When to lock?
The man notices you and freezes, curling horn protruding from his head, casts a malevolent shadow on the cave wall. Spider Boy?
Man, did you find it? Who is that?
A cat and a spider. Uh-huh.
The do-gooders here to save our mongrel souls, no doubt. Wait. They might know what's going on up there.
You know.
If things are as bad as you say, then we all have to hurry.
You didn't come from the direction of the shield maze. Damn it. I couldn't care less about what's happening on the surface, but the maze.
I realize that you guys have your own troubles, but we need to be in Canabres. People are dying up there. Please, show us the way out.
Tieflings are the descendants of people who sullied themselves by mating with demons. Our ancestors would never sink that low. We are the Underground Crusaders, the children of the Crusade's finest.
Uh-huh.
Sadly, Underground Crusaders is a bit of a mouthful, so people usually just call us mongrels.
You just love repeating that, don't you, Anne? Mongrels. That's what the Uplanders call us. But we call ourselves Neathers.
And neithers, not nethers, like,
No
you know,
matter
Netherlands.
what you call us,
Not
it's
Netherlands,
not
like,
gonna stop
nether
our
regions.
horns, hooves, or tails from growing.
In Canabres, they're called mongrels. People say that they come up to the surface at night and eat anyone foolish enough to wander alone after midnight. To tell you the truth, I thought you guys were just a tale to tell kids at night.
That's human gratitude for you. Our forefathers suffered the consequences of demonic corruption, all to protect Mendev and Golarion. And for what? So we could become monsters used to frighten children.
Every mongrel has their own take on it. Our chief, for example, thinks of us as something like a reserve military force. He thinks we're standing by until the moment we're needed, and when we emerge on the surface and save the day, all the people will see how good we are, and they'll love us for it. Yeah, he leaves that last part out when he talks about it, of course, but it's easy enough to read between the lines.
No, I mean, if you were to do it, now's your chance, buddy.
This is the hall where we remember the glory of our forebears. Sorry about the mess. It doesn't usually look like this, trust me. Sometimes we even wipe the dust off the exhibits.
This is where the relics of the First Crusaders are displayed. Our lives are short. Our glories are quickly forgotten. But this place helps us to remember that we are just as worthy as anyone else. And that our lives are not lived in vain.
The First Crusaders? You've been down here that long? That's crazy.
That's none of your bit.
We're looking for a holy sword. It was here, in the center, sticking out of a rock. The sooner we find it, the better. Some kids from our tribe took off for the shield maze. They figured it had collapsed, and now it's their time to go up to the surface, like all the legends foretold. Except they don't have a clue what's waiting for them up there. They're not fighters. And Saul, the chief of our tribe, is dead set against it. He says that now isn't the time for the underground Crusaders to take up arms. If we get the Holy Sword, we might be able to change the chief's mind.
Well, I mean, if anywhere a time, man, it's when the dragon's been beheaded and the demons are taking over.
The sword, let alone use it to save anyone. It's not an ordinary weapon. It's made from righteous heavenly flame and will burn anyone who touches it. Do you think you're special, lad?
I'll pick it up with my teeth and tie it to my hand if I have to. It doesn't matter. An angel's sword and a troop of stalwart mongrels will be able to work a minor miracle. Speaking of which, you're still here, Wendu, which means that deep down, you know it's possible.
Yes, there are other ways up, but they are far from here. And after the earthquakes, there's a good chance they've collapsed. But the maze... There's a legend among our people that when the walls of the maze fall, that will be a signal for us, the underground Crusaders, that the time has come to go up to the surface and fight the demons in the final confrontation. Until then, the people say the maze is shielding us from taking rash actions. I'm the only one in our whole tribe to have been in the maze. And even I don't know if it's true. The further I went in the maze, the fresher the air became. That means that it really must lead to the surface.
When the ceiling and walls started shaking, the young ones in our tribe lost their heads. They figured the maze was going to collapse, so it was time to go up to the surface. They grabbed whatever weapons were on hand and ran off toward the maze. They think the maze is no longer a danger to them. They've been listening to Wendwog too much.
Don't try to blame this on me. Yes, I told them that our people are capable of making our way through the maze. In the future. But I always told them to wait until I had made a map of all the maze's dangers. I warned them 100 times. But it was no use. My words just went in one ear and out the other. It came here with its owner. A long time ago. 50,000 gongs to be precise.
Is that like a day or?
70 years ago, in Uplander time.
There you go.
50,000 gongs ago, our forebears found a dead angel here, along with the bodies of his comrades. The tribe gave them a dignified burial, and they were laid to rest with their weapons. But the flaming angelic sword was stuck in a rock, and no one was able to pull it out.
Until now, obviously.
Touch, like real fire. So the rock was placed over the angel's grave.
Creative problem solving.
Should be here somewhere.
Can't take the sword out of the rock, just move the rock.
Dig himself out and find the sword for us. That might be our best shot in this chaos.
It's not that rock that. Oh, I guess because somebody's close enough to it that it's.
Watch your tongue.
Thanks. An extra pair of eyes can only help. The sword will be easy enough to spot. It looks, swordy. Help us, and in return, we'll get you out of here.
Now we're talking. Let's get to work. It's a good thing we all bumped into each other, isn't it?
What? You want to find the sword quickly, so the underground monsters bring you back to
1,
the
2,
surface.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nice. Fine. Moving past an object. Perception check.
I found something.
Make sure to put in the settings
I
that.
am helpful. Am I not?
Such an unknown knight. The technique is crude. The figure it was clearly crafted with genuine feeling, judging by a style of armor. The knight is from the First Crusade. It looks like a improvised museum, or perhaps some kind of temple.
Leads on.
Now, what is that?
Check a quick save as well, just in case we get in the fight, and I don't want to have to do that over again.
What do we have here?
What's that there?
Jeez Louise. A strange flash pierces the gloom. And Sullivan feels... Sorry, my brain. A strange flash pierces the gloom, and Sullivan feels drops of searing blood run down his chest. The wound healed by Terendelev reopens and weeps scarlet. But there is no pain or weakness. A hazy scene appears. A cave chamber. This one, or another entirely. Sullivan's heartbeat quickens, and a stream of thoughts suddenly burst into his mind. Thoughts of clearly belonging to another. Treachery! They betrayed me, tracked me and stabbed me in the back. My trusted allies, my treasured friends, the people I swore to protect, the people for whom I descended from heaven, and came to this turbulent mortal world. And there they are, up ahead, in the gloom of the cave. What are they waiting for? Are they afraid to draw any closer? Do they believe I am about to die from their traitorous blows? Next to me, a quiet moan. A girl with a golden braid lies on the rocks, clutching her slashed side. She refused to join the traitors and paid dearly for it. I could have tried to run, but I will not. Whilst I still have the strength, I must. While I recognize the foreign origin of these thoughts, Sullivan intuits. Intuits? Is that how you... that he can control them somehow? Let's try to heal the wounded girl. A spark of healing magic illuminates the eerie, murky scene before Sullivan. The wounded girl opens her eyes and whispers, "Lariel, you have to said everything that you said that everything was going to change soon. You said you and the other warriors of heaven would be leading us on a grand mission to stop the demons forever. Is that true?" The frenzy of foreign thoughts comes faster and faster, like a rushing river, and images flash by one after another. A priestess in colorful robes, observing the stars, a young female paladin praying, clutching her glowing sword, a majestic golden-winged angel gazing into the distance, his face covered by a helmet, but his voice ringing clear. "Only if you're willing, and only if you're ready. There is no going back." "Then don't waste your strength healing me," the girl whispers. "Your mission is more important. You take care. It is near." There in the vision, the darkness in the cave stirs into motion. Something massive appears from within its depths. A vague shadow. An outline. A nightmare come to life. A wave of odious chirping and rustling emanates from the shadow. The sound piercing like hot irons lancing through flesh and bone. The traitors fall to their knees before the shadow in reverent ecstasy, and the wounded girl thrashes in her death throes. The yawning chest wound burns white hot. Sullivan's head pounds with pain. It is no longer clear whose pain it is. The person called Lariel, who sent the visions, or the one lucky enough to receive it. The force they attack, though originating in a vision, is terrifying, but Sullivan is stronger. He shakes off the pain and torpor, but alas, the one who sent the vision cannot claim the same. He is broken and exhausted. A monster's shadow emerges from the murk of the cave. It is not real. It exists only in this strange vision or memory, but the thrill of fear it provokes is more than real. The shadow's features starkly resemble those of a Deskari, the terrifying demon lord, in a movement as swift as though itself, the monster's hand is wrapped around the throat Sorry, it's in the movement as swift as though itself. It's a weird way of reading that. It just didn't work for my brain. The monster's hand is wrapped around the throat of the one they call Lariel. The foolish angel struggles on the rocks like a fly with its wings torn off, intones the shadow. The voice changes as it moves, shifting from a quiet whisper to a sonorous shout, becoming young, then old and quivering. Where is your goddess now, angel? Where is her self-assured herald? How is it that you are dying here alone, so far from the light of your heaven? A strange calm envelops the thoughts of the one called Lariel. He recognizes who stands before him, and he knows he will never bow down before this enemy. The flaming sword flares to life in his hand, bright and pure, flickering with multicolored sparks like a sunbeam through stained glass. Slash! The blade slices through the demonic creature's flesh, and the monster recoils with a howl, releasing his grip on Lariel's throat. The angel falls back heavily on the rocks. His vitality is ebbing, but his pride remains undiminished. He grips the sword, and with the last burst of strength, plunges it into the rock. Sullivan senses the vision is fading. The rush of thoughts. Sullivan senses the vision is fading. The rush of thoughts diminishing, like a river running dry. The last thing he hears is this: "You will kill me, monster. This I know. But one day someone will come here and raise up my sword. They will raise it up and save and protect the innocent." The vision disappears, vanishing in a burst of colors. Sullivan does not hear the final words, but he seems to complete the thought, taking it to heart. The words fly from his lips, and with them something else. The heat blazing in Sullivan's chest fades away. The edges of the scarlet wound close, leaving not even a scar behind. Looking down, Sullivan sees the flaming sword in his hand, or rather, its outline. The memory of what the sword looked like. With a final surge of warmth and soothing light, the sword vanishes, and the light is drawn into his hand. Sullivan senses that it will return. All he needs to do is call it.
Hey, are you alright? You were kinda glowing just now.
Offer compared to it'll.
That was it. The light of heaven. But how?
What did you do with it? Where did it go?
Lariel? That really was Lariel? The angel from the legends. The ancestors even got his name right on the gravestone. The chief will be thrilled.
They even got the fucking tombstone right. Man, he's gonna be so fucking pumped.
You. Thousands of gongs and no one's been able to touch it. And now you, an ordinary creature of flesh and blood, no different to us, get the sword and start talking about visions.
Now, Wentwog, don't be a sore loser. He is clearly different from us. The sword appeared before him, along with the angel's name and all that other stuff. Because he doesn't carry our mongrel taint. Heaven doesn't give a damn how special
Mongrel
we are.
taint.
We're born with evil inside us. Heaven doesn't need to know any more than that.
I don't think that's,
I know, you're willing to tear anyone apart to uphold our people's honor, but you and Sol, you just refuse to face the truth. We are the way we are because our ancestors' bodies were corrupted by the abyss. It does the same thing to plants and animals. There's nothing heroic or special about it. It doesn't make us better, and it doesn't make us worthier.
I can use the numpad for it.
That is just... wow, I mean, that's amazing. Heaven has truly blessed you.
She said, that's just wow. Wow!
This power is the most majestic thing I've ever seen in all my life. Is this what the sun is like, Lan?
Yes, it's similar. But this light is more... golden? Chief Sol needs to see this. Now that we have the power of angels on our side, he can't say no. He'll have to assemble a troop to storm the maze. You Uplanders care about your kids, right? Help us save ours. Without them, we won't survive. And then, the perils of the maze won't be so bad if we go together. We'll make our way through it and find the way to Canabras.
Lead us to your chief, and I'll decide if I'm going to help you or not.
Well, the only route, really.
Now what's that?
Yep. I know what skill checks our game, thank you, though. What's the game's mechanic based on the rules of tabletop RPG Pathfinder? You have to roll dice. Every event is documented with combat log. He has a bow and arrow. She has a bow and arrow.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge.
Okay, so this instead of like, I guess if you activate it specifically, it makes the character walk within the range you were firing. I guess it's like a monk as well. Is he a monk? He's a monk Zen archer, and she's a fighter. Okay. Well, now we have two rangers. I can switch the sword.
We will win this war.
What's that squelching noise, man? Oh man, it's spiders!
Defeat is not an option.
You know what? I love fucking spiders game.
You've crossed the wrong monk.
Why did it count as a full attack round? It's, you know.
Into the fray.
Nice. Nice job. Nice going, loser.
Do not hold back.
Two spiders just dead on top of each other. Two spiders sitting on the ground 5 feet apart because it's taking up the same space in initiative. Or in the world. I guess, I don't know.
Godspeed.
The mongrel did it.
Save it himself. I mean, hey.
We will
I was gonna try to save. I was just stupid.
Won't survive me.
Noise.
The inheritor. Guide my blade.
Secret skeleton. With a wand of cure light wounds. Secret skeleton. Why did I pronounce the extra G? Who knows? Mr. Skulltole, please tell me your secrets. I desire to know the truth of the bone.
launch ahead.
Yet another obstacle.
I'm sure they start looking ahead more. So I'm not just walking into flies and scorpions, or centipedes rather.
Strike as one.
Uh-huh. Get him. Every sector in combat entails the following for calculations. I actually want to read this because if one of my very fucking constant complaints First attacker makes an attack roll that compares the results to the target's AC to see if the attack roll is hit or miss. Attack hits, deals damage. Attack and attempt to roll harm an enemy during combat and make the attack roll d20. For example, Camilla attacked the spitting centipede and got a 25. Let's break down the results. Rolled 16. Attack 1 is 9. 0, 4, 1, 2, 2. Our class. This designates how hard it is to damage a creature. Yeah, no ways in fact magic or something else. Kind of put AC, then you need to make an attack roll. Roll with the AC results in a miss if creature's base AC 10. This number is modified by a multitude of bonus penalties. So on and so forth.
Our path leads on.
I mean, it's just better. It's just better. It gets a +1, I think. Doesn't tell you it does, but it does.
Not hesitate.
I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. I've just gotta go use the bathroom. Sorry, 1 second. Be right back. I swear, I promise. It's gonna happen. 1 second. I like yelling from across the room. It's my mic's really good, so you know it works out. Ugh, boy. Okie dokie. Let's get back to walking. So I was just looking at that because it says it. So wait, do I what? How do I summon the sword though? Is that just like a? I also would like to know what the fuck this means. What do you mean, accept effects of Inspire Rage? What does that mean? What are those words? What do they mean to me? Also, do I have spells? Why can't I cast spells, but she can? Except one mercy. Each mercy has effects of Heaven's Land Hands ability. Okay. I think stuff like frightened probably be good for it. Frightened, stunned, maybe even dazed. I don't know. Let's see how, you know, prevalent some of these are. Just want to know. Just want to know because I get all these things and I thought I could cast spells, but now that I know I can't cast spells. I like how she's just a paladin.
I will guide us.
I found something.
Stand with me.
Yeah, okay. That spider just doesn't exist, okay. Wow. What the fuck was that turn order? A comma, master of a greatsword, and light shield. I'll use a light shield for now. It lowers my damage, raises my AC by the same point. That's fine, for now. Maybe I'll ditch the shield, who knows. Maybe I'll get a bigger shield. Maybe. Just maybe, I don't have to make a decision right this second. And I am allowed to possibly change my mind later. Oh, that fancy camera work. Oh my god, kill me. All that fancy camera work just to be thrown into a fucking conversation where it auto-adjusts the camera. When that glances at Lamb, who's fixing his slipped bowstring, and quickly walks over to you. Her cat-like eyes glow from beneath her hood. Listen here, you. I don't know who you are or where you come from, but you and I are the only two people who see things clearly. So I'm asking you, don't show the light of heaven to Saul. Lan Wenduag grimaces with a guttural, husky snarl unfurls in her throat. He wants to play the hero. His first idea, if you remember, was to grab the sword and run headlong into the maze. Does that sound like a plan to you? To me, it sounds like suicide. The worst part is, the tribe might actually take his words from the heart and follow the lead. Descendants of great warriors, I believe that my people are worthy of greatness, that we are strong and can do many things. That's why we were chased down here. We scared people. But it's one thing to go hunting in the caves, and another to fight in the shield maze. One leg leans closer, her pupils dilating. I've been there. I've spent my whole life training so I could make it through, all the way to the end. And there were more of us trackers at the start. We were young and stupid. What's a couple of monsters? What's a couple of monsters when there's a whole world out there waiting for us? That's what we thought. But we weren't prepared. The maze isn't a physical challenge. It's cunning and full of traps. It's dark and it's as the primordial night. And if you close your eyes and listen, you hear the whispers right behind you, in soft singing in the distance that seems to rise and fall with the beating of your heart. Windag looks away. I had to learn from my friends' mistakes. I had to step over their bodies and go further. I don't want to have to go do that again. And it will happen again if a crowd of ill-prepared fighters burst in the maze, with no idea where they're going. All because Lan believes that a glowing sword will solve all our problems. I do want to, but I'm not going to risk the future of this tribe for the sake of a few stupid kids. Chief Sol is hesitant, and for good reason. He also understands how dangerous this is for the tribe. Lan's the only one who benefits from these childish games of heroism. I'll go alone if I have to and find them, or whatever's left of them, without any heroics, relying only on myself, risking only my life. Windag slows. You and your friends, you can come with me. Perhaps we can make it to the end of the maze together and find the way to our surface. Don't show the chief the light, and I'll lead you through the maze to the surface, I swear it. The fucking character who's just wandering with us just waddles up. So, I get that, you know, she doesn't want to have her friends, like, all die or whatever. But,
Godspeed.
assuming I do show him the light, what do these guys look like? This one looks just like a Durgar. Is that like a drow over there? Your first impression of the Mongrel village is of a squalid dump, with the odors to match. Unblinking, glowing eyes watch you from the gloom, and deformed shadows slope between the huts. You see some mongrels gutting white eyeless fish, while others are preparing fishing nets. All the signs of normal village life, but tense expectations hang in the air. A heavy-set, aged mongrel, slowly shuffles his way towards you. The hair on his head grows in limp, wispy strands, and his face is distinctly rat-like appearance, with pronounced teeth. And you hear a rattling sound in his chest with every breath he takes. One of his eyes is white, fully scarred with cataracts, while the other gleams with moisture. Uplanders, eh? And time sharp upon us, indeed. And Chief Skull, we found the Angel's Sword. We found the one who can wield it, Lan points at you. He had a vision, and now the Angel's Sword, together with the light of the heaven, are somehow inside him. Gather the tribe, anyone who can hold a weapon. The young ones are still alive, and we can go save them. Sol raises his hand and with ragged, broken fingernails. Ha, Lan, always dreaming, always talking. You're too hasty for your own good. It's going to get you in trouble. Sol eyes look you up and down. An uplander with the light o' heaven. That's too good for us. Our hind don't have good things happen. There's always a catch. Lan trusts people because he likes to believe. Isn't that right, Lan? I'm the chief. I don't work on faith. Show the lights. Windag stares at you intently, like a cat watching a bird, and shakes her head in warning. Colored options. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Spider Girl. Emily Flare flares to life at your unspoken command, bright, pure, dancing with multicolored sparks. You like a sunbeam passing through stained glass. The Mongols abandon their task and stare transfixed. The light is bright, but not blinding. It is warm. But it is a warmth in soul deep. Sol is silent for a while. Tears are streaming down his wide, pale face. But the old man doesn't even care to wipe them away. So it's true. The angel did not forsake us. No. He came. Back from the dead he came to save our children. Lan gives you a nod of thanks. The scaled half of his face is indifferent. The human half is visibly relieved. As if he wasn't sure all this time you would support him. Windag hisses at you like an angry cat. See these fishermen and these hunters, these husks of men and women. Their blood is on you. Will be on your hands. Idiot! You see a bright light, and now you think even the maze is no match for you. You always think the worst wouldn't do. We're not on our own anymore. We've got allies. Well, a couple at least. But one good fighter is worth 10 bad ones. You have it right. You have the right of Atlan. But we're nethers. We're going to wait. I sent a messenger to summon all tribes. It will take time, yes, but they will all come. They will all come for the light. Wait, Lan. Wait, Uplanders. Rest a while in one of our huts. Our home is your home. All right, Chief. Understood. Let's hope that a few hours isn't the difference between life and death for those kids. They ask me what took us so long. I'll tell them it was your decision. Wendak only grits her teeth in silence. Characters have leveled up. They get levels. They level, they can get feats. Characters get feet. Yes, good old feet. Yes. Just trying to see, like, you know, Hell Knight Signifier. Winter Witch. Ooh. I mean, this stuff looks interesting. I'm probably not going to show it off. You guys can try it out yourselves. But, you know. Oh, is a scout just another word for bard? Or there's also bards. This is just like a more magic bard. The rage. Okay. I like pure classes, though. I have action. Yeah, cause I see, like, so I've seen some people. I looked up some guides on the last game. Oh god damn it! It's doing that fucking thing again. I know it works. I know now that it works. It keeps fucking recording. Cause I went and checked it out, but still. Auto leveling is a part of the base game. It doesn't require me to fucking set a setting for it. Ah. Good. I fucking hate having to level these characters. Let them auto level. Allow them to auto level. I'll take the money. They don't have any, you know, use for the money. This music sounds quite familiar, huh? Horgus Worm. I'm gonna look over here anyway. Ah, a human face at last. Here I thought I'd be gazing upon the twisted visage of these troglodytes for the rest of my life. A healthy man in expensive but not ostentatious clothes approaches you. His face is peppered with several healed cuts and bruises, and twisted an expression of extreme discontent. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jorge Guerrero. Yes, that Guerrero. You've no doubt heard of me, and of me if you've spent time at all in the city. I have a business proposition for you. You're truly freshly arrived in the city, then. You couldn't have picked a worse time, that's for certain. Only just arrived, and the city's been razed to rubble. You should know that you are looking on one of the richest and most distinguished men in all of Kenabris. I may not be as well known as certain swaggering loudmouths who spend their lives trapezing from one ball to the next, but the Guam Trading Company is one of the pillars of the city, I'll have you know. Did you see the marquees on the square? I paid for those. Tried any festival delicacies? You have Hornus Gorm to thank for that. Okay, what kind of business proposition? I can guess how we've got down here, you know? I don't know what's happening on the surface right now, but I am determined to find out. You have no intention of seeing out the rest of your days in this village, I suspect. We must find a route back to the surface, to the city, if there's anything left of it. I'm a moderately pious man, and I don't mind relying on the help of a person who has the favor of the gods, especially with so many demons lurking around. You are strong. I will be no trouble to you, but alas, I am not fit as I once was. I can't go crawling around through the caves, playing at scouts. My proposition is simple. Lead me back to the city, and I shall pay you 1,000 gold coins. I suggest we help this man. It is a good deal. It's good to have friends among the country elites. Now, here's the thing. I have to. I praise Lomade. I am a crusader. I have to. It's in the fucking text. And I think Abradar, am I not some beggar seeking charity? I told you I'll pay 1,000, it means I'll pay you 1,000. It's fine. Splendid, it means I shall sit here in the village. We have to go. Go on, go on. Don't forget our agreement. When you find the way out, be sure to tell me. Yeah, I'm kind of glad he made me take the money. I really like it'd be funny if, you know, we did that. We said, oh, no, we won't take any money. And then he's like, okay, but I have to pay you. And we were like, okay. You twisted my arm, whatever. 2,000. Do not take the fish. Just in case.
Let us press on.
I'm also not quite sure I want to eat mutated fish, you know? For simplicity's sake. Something about eating a fish that's got more eyes than me. Same amount of eyes? That's okay. More eyes. Tragedy might have happened if you spent less time surveilling honest citizens, more time tracking real spies and demon worshippers. Brilliant idea. How come I didn't think of it? Now, if only the cultists would tell us that they were cultists. Then we wouldn't have to waste time investigating honest citizens who decide to go and cloak and dagger right under our noses. Horus and Horgus and Anavia sit some distance apart, sniping at each other in an idle fashion that testifies to their long acquaintance and mutual dislike. When they notice you, they quickly fall silent. I don't really think this is important. Vendors allow you to buy shit. Is that her? Let us trade. Don't you... I'm gonna keep that one just in case. I can't imagine. Possibly can't imagine. That will ever possibly need it. But you know, there's some part of me, some deep guttural part, that considers the fact that I might inevitably need the, I think it's probably going to be more important in the later of the game, but you know, in the latter parts of the game. If I had the money, same rate, I don't think it's a great idea. I'm gonna keep these obviously because they don't even suffer anything. Kind of upsetting they don't stack in that case, you know. So who the fuck's got 2,300 gold at this point? Who's got that kind of money? Who has that kind of cash? The colder, you know. This is like a good thing to give to like him because he shoots more shots. Sorry. Always yawnish. Always. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. The messenger returned. The tribes are gathering at the entrance of the maze. Our people have already gone there. I have warned Anivia that the old guy who won't even, acknowledge me. And take your time. There's no rush. What's important, people always show up late. Lan looks around. Everything's going to plan, but one thing is bothering me. Wendwag's gone. Wow, just be a dick to him. By Mongol standards, yes, but don't be too disappointed when you see the reality. Not many of us who can hold a weapon, and fewer who can still do any damage with one. I don't know. She was always stubborn. Maybe she decided she could do it all on her own. I hope she comes back. We'll struggle without her, and she'll struggle without us, no matter how hard she tries to deny it. Once you clear the maze, well, the way ahead will be safe. Eve is in no state to fight, and Jorge's side doesn't look like he'll shift an inch unless we roll out the red carpet all the way to the exit. Let's go, but before we do, thank you. I was so happy I forgot to thank you before. But you've done something no one else has done in a long time. You've given the mongrels hope. It's like we were saying, starting to believe in that we're worth something. Now that we have the power of the angels on our side, Lan's face grows sullen. It doesn't change anything, of course, but at least you'll be able to help us with the young ones, hopefully. Let's go to the main gate. The straight road is the shortest. That's understandable. That she took off on us. I mean, to be fair, she did ask us for one thing, and I told her to go fuck herself, basically. To be fair, though, you know. It's kind of silly the things she's asking us for, so. You know, oh, please don't show my people the light, they'll get killed. Yes, but, you know, this is your destiny, young girl. You have no choice but to die. It's destiny, he says. Let me just reach down here. I like how the ultimate formation is just a line. That's it. It's not like, you know. For the thing, is it? If I just equip that to you. Okay, good.
I'm all ears.
The world in crimson.
Stop. Get off my screen, please. She's a little bit crazy, huh? Just one quick second.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Into the fray!
Can't really get much skin off an exploded corpse, can ya?
Our path leads on.
The tribes are gathering. Soon we will attack. How long can we wait? The tribes haven't turned up yet. We're going to wait for them just another while longer. Knowing so, the preparations will take the best part of a day. We'll go look in the maze ourselves and see what's what. Does it go any further back over here?
Defeat is not an option.
The spirits demand your blood. The inheritor, guide my blade.
Wow, decapitated. That's new and fucking cool. Gonna move to with me. Never come back. Seems like a plan to me. It certainly is a plan. Is it a good one? This is the best one. Most definitely not. Look at those fucking guys. Look at those horns. It's pretty cool. I had the option of being a furry, but not a fucking mongrel. Bunch of gargoyles. Wow. I wonder if torches really gave off that much, like, fire. Yeah, I guess it makes sense, right? They're just burning.
I have managed.
Baphomet, Demon Lord, Lord of the Minotaurs, Lord of the Labyrinth. How much do I bet that those are, mimics?
Always be ready for the worst.
How much does a healing potion do for me? It is 1d8. Yeah.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge. You won't survive me.
Yeah, that's part of my concern, but you know. Wizards are also really squishy. A glaive, a dagger, a change shirt. I'll leave the armor behind as we always usually did.
I hope you appreciate this.
Yeah, time to log in lockdown. Okay. Just a reduced person. Not overly useful, but okay.
Godspeed.
I'm not sure. I feel like the thing is bigger. I do like that you can just break open locks now. So, like, you know. Because realistically, right, you're not going back to most places.
I found something.
Was it the trap? It might be the trap. Traps. Wait, perception check. It's in the trap. Okay, that's different. Elemental essence. A lot of potion mats. Wonder how difficult it's going to be, huh?
Endure this. We shall overcome.
Oh, come on. There we go. I wonder what flanking counts as. Do I have to be next to him? Do I have to be... You know... When does it become flanking? You know what I mean?
The deed is done.
Sounds a bit high on reflection when rituals of demon worship. You know how much I love demon worship? Not at all. Filthy fucking demons. Yes. The vision of a goat. $13. I feel like I shouldn't even be selling the book, to be honest.
Can't hide from me.
It feels like if you sell a book about demons to somebody, it's just bound to get them involved in demon worship, right? Like, you know. It's always like it's always like the oh jeez, why is my fucking, no wonder everything's so loud. My headset's set at 60 when it's normally at like 36. That's only at 32, but still, it's like it's almost double the fucking headset volume. No wonder I'm having issues hearing things. Rather, the exact opposite of that.
We will win this war.
Those paintings, they seem oddly out of place.
Let us press on.
Make every strike count.
Save the last one for me. You are today's sacrifice.
Hovind. His name was Hovind. Yeah, he's not from our tribe, but we're both hunters, so we'd cross paths from time to time in the cave passages. We'd share news and leave supplies for each other. Then he just disappeared. He used to talk about wanting to try his luck in the maze. His truck in the maze. He had a fucking four-wheeler and just plowed through the maze. Just fucking sick. He used to talk about wanting to try his luck in the maze. I thought he was long dead, if only he had been. No idea. This is my first time here too, but maybe they fell down here the same way you did? And shrugs awkwardly and looks away. Wendell comes here all the time. I'd ask her about it if she were here. Come to think of it, where is she? Something's wrong with them. Look at their bodies. There's something eating from them from the inside out. Maybe these guys just ate something weird and having an off day, but I think something drove them out of their minds. Or someone. And there I was hoping that we'd be the meanest thing here. Lan's laughter sounds strained. These mongrels and cultists. Now that I did not expect. What? I need to find out what's going on here. Saving game is impossible. I'm on the ground behind them are comfortable benches with pillows. Something clearly enjoyed watching others suffer. Bunch of potion crap. I feel like, right, what she's basically going to end up doing is just have a lockpick, right? Have our Lindsay, for lack of a better term. Just, you know, our lockpicker. Our absolutely perfect girl. No, I didn't like Lindsay that much. Perfect girls in that game were definitely Valerie or Amari. Yes, please. Wrong side of the wall, please.
We march ahead. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Did I mess up again?
Sharpshooter.
Go for their hearts!
You won't survive me.
Those guys evil? Yeah, they are evil. I mean, obviously, they're cultists. What the fuck am I saying? Are cultists evil? I mean, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. I've never watched Star Wars. 4 to 9, so it's just worse. Just fucking worse. Also, I like that it tells you the chance of picking the lock.
Am I not?
That's nice. A wizard and a champion. Ooh, no.
I'll cut you wide open!
No more wizards. No more book nerds. None whatsoever.
Endure this.
To be fair, I want a book nerd. I want some kind of magic nerd. It doesn't have to be a wizard. No, it wouldn't hurt to be a wizard specifically.
Make every strike count.
I don't know if this game would be like. I don't remember if it was. I think Divinity is what I'm thinking of, but they were just books, not like.
The inheritor, guide my blade!
Do not hold back.
That when they explode this shit. Almost diary. Contains only one entry on the very first page. Life is shit. With my brethren, although what kind of brothers they really, are having a great time up on the surface. I am stuck down here with Holista, the nightmare of the nightmare, and the mongrel scum. Top it all off, a pipe from a leak in the mental is smashing up the kitchen, and Hosilla, setting it to slaughter everyone it meets at the maze's passageways. All I can do is hide around the corners, under beds, and around the cupboards. I don't want to die. This is how I pictured it all. Serving Baphomet, this isn't how I pictured it all. You know. Serving demons, turns out, not all it's fucking cracked up to be. You know. Kids, if you're thinking of serving a demon, just fucking don't. Kind of like when somebody offers you drugs, just say no, right? Just, you know, if a cultist walks up to you, says, "Hey, buddy, you want to serve Baphomet? He's a fucking giant goat, man.
I will guide us.
King of the Minotaurs and mazes." Why is... That's a good bug. I like that bug. It's a good one. How does this compare to the heavy one? 1 to 8 or 1 to 10. Technically it's 2 to 9, I think, because of masterwork. Even though it doesn't say. I guess a 2 to 9 is better than a 1 to 10 right now. More guaranteed damage versus, you know, technical. Like, I don't understand how she got down there, but I'm glad that the game realized that she was where she wasn't supposed to be. And corrected it. Take those. Happy to take that. I don't care about the fish and stuff, but you know, I'll take it. Woo! Yes. Yes, sirree. I'll happily take that one. Masterwork, cold iron, longsword, yeah. Compared to the other one, I'm holding the long crap. 4 to 11 versus the 4 to 11. It's the same damage, but you know, it's +1, so it's 5 to 12. Which essentially, like, I'm not worried holding the shield at all now. This is an armor check penalty. What does it even mean? Any armor has was shield and to use dexterity and strength basic skills. Huh. That seems kind of... I mean, it makes sense, like, technically. It's kind of BS.
Let us press on.
It ain't so much of a maze as it is just, like, somebody's fucking house. Like, I get, you know, obviously it's not a house. It's more of, like, an underground, you know. Press Y. I know how to do that. Thank you. That would be helpful if I ever knew, though. This feels like the final boss. So let's just go back here real quick, because there was another way to go. I wanna get rid of all these cultists. I wanna make sure that, you know, when we bring our injured friend and the guys that give us $1,000 through here, that they're a-okay.
Now what is that?
That's interesting. There's a trap in another room.
Our path leads on.
Are we in trouble yet? Yet another obstacle.
There's only one guy. I feel like the movement is a lot better. A lot less, you know, it's a lot... I mean, I'm sure I could get it to be as free as I want it to be. Free as I want it to be. But, I get one Smite Evil.
The light take you.
If I got like 2 of them, I consider using one of them on him. It feels kind of like a waste just to burn it now, you know what I mean?
Into the fray.
Strike as one.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys. There we go. One more hit. There we go. Quality work. Did I want that? Who fucking knows? Whomst fucking knows? Take that. I'm glad they're making sure to give us a lot of cold iron stuff. Because obviously, I imagine that, I don't think... I made sure to stop there, specifically just to, you know. I don't think. And then just end the sentence. That's it. Weapons in the hand are locks. They can be found among loot or bought from the vendor. Extended upon use, it gives a bonus to trickery. Okay. So I just got scratch something in the back of my neck. And do a stretch. Look at that. Good stretch, kids. Make sure to stretch. It's good for you, I think. Probably. Gets blood flowing or something. But, definitely could have used a lot more coal iron stuff in the last game. Because I don't think that, it works entirely the same way as, like, for example, 5e. Pathfinder is just a different system inherently, and that just has to be recognized, you know. But,
I hope you appreciate this.
You know. What I mean is, like, you know, in D&D, monsters normally have, they have their resistance, right? So, like, you know, it's no resistance to regular damage, except for if it's silvered weapon or if it is magical damage, which counts as for stuff like having a magical sword would be magical damage. Like, you know, just any sword, that like a +1 sword counts as magical. And that's neat. That's neato. I don't think Pathfinder has the same thing. I think Pathfinder has to be like,
What do we have here?
hum. This is where that elemental is. Well, fuck. Now I feel like I'm going the right way. Let's go check out the church real quick. Because now I feel like this was the wrong way to go. Or possibly that there's 2 different ways to go. That this is a branching quest. Ugh! God! Multiple ways to go. How do I know how to avoid the correct way to gain the most loot? How would I know? I couldn't. And that's the problem. Neophyte cleric. Baphomet cultists. Okay. Okay. I see what you're doing here.
Survive me.
I bet you could charge your teammate without actually attacking them. Get the cleric out of the way.
You are today's sacrifice.
Attack!
No mercy for the wicked.
This pain is excruciating.
Endure this.
I do like how they have a
Go for their hearts.
a thing
We shall overcome!
that shows their health. Oh, that's nice. Because I can, there's 2 ways to see their health, and that helps. That helps. God, that was such a bad like attempt at a joke. That helps.
Together we stand.
I'll just lay in hands, you know. Let us put one back on our belts and just, you know. There we go, perfect. A full 7. Makes you feel like I wasted mine a little bit, but you know. Is that his hand? Cool, we can just cut off his hand. That's neat that it shows that. That's neat though. I like that. It's nice. It's pretty cool. Ah, ritual filled with fresh blood. Baphomet only likes the freshest of blood. Uh-huh.
That is quite a discovery.
Stop.
The spirits guide me.
How do I... I can live with that.
Let us press on.
So that must be the exit, I guess. So what the fuck's a dretch? An outsider. I mean, it's not of this plane. Hmm. DR is the... Yep, that's just damage reduction, I know that.
Meditate on your mistakes. It might make you feel better.
Hmm. Is this a day, or is that just forever? I guess because they were just playing the corpses from the back team. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how it works in Pathfinder.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Huh. He's a jolly good fellow, nobody loves to die. God. Part of me wants to take a nap after we're done with this, but part of me also feels like I wouldn't wake up in time to go to work. That job sucks. Oh, man. It's funny because I remember telling, like, you know, I worked at a restaurant previously. And I remember telling my last boss, I'm like, you know, the American dream is just being able to sit on your couch all day. Right? That's realistically, right, what everybody kind of strives to, you know. And I mean that in the most technical way. Like, you know, not really sitting on your couch, but being able to do basically nothing or whatever you want, essentially, right? So having the liberty to sit on your couch all day is essentially the American dream. Okay, she can't get over there for some reason. Is the water on the floor? Path target is blocked. Blocked by what?
I'll cut you wide open.
The light take you!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The spirits demand your blood.
I was successful in my search. I will guide us.
I am helpful, am I not?
Godspeed.
Kind of impossible to tell which way we need to be going. Drinking water from the river in the city. Oh, I figured that this was just the sewer water.
I'm all ears.
That's a rock boy. Monsters humanoid. I just like how they have 2 levels in monsters humanoid. Yeah, I'm just a level 2 monsters humanoid.
You won't survive me.
Like, it's not about being that. It's just about, like, classing in it, I guess. Also,
Do not hold
that,
You are today's
that
sacrifice.
mongrel has a very, effeminate voice. Are they genies? The rock people are genies? It's kind of weird. I guess maybe they're like probably similar to like yeah, they're ow, 9 damage.
Into the fray!
endure this.
Go for their hearts.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
This is not very high. No, he just has some fucking serious fucking health. There he is. Ooh, winger +1? Unable to identify. Does that mean I just can't equip it, or I can? It's funny because, you know, I know what this is. They use the same design, right? So, you know, I can tell it's a ring of +1. But it's just funny that, you know, deflection +1 ring. One thing with the ring is, I can specifically, you know, I can tell what it is. I know. Yeah, maybe it's a little gaming. You know, it doesn't change the fact that I know what the ring is. I can see the effects of it. What is this? Bone amulet. Ooh. So we can't tell her alignment because of it. She ties and fights demons and cults alike, but prefers to keep her distance to the fellow warriors. I wonder what that means. What it's going to turn out to be. It's kind of interesting. Oh, to have a hidden alignment.
Let us press on.
The heartbeat quickens.
Guys, let me get in the room, please. Hand of Holyssa.
Make every strike count.
Guys, make them walk at me. Quality.
The spirits demand your blood.
Follow these simple rules or you will die. Don't bother me unless it's strictly necessary. Keep the door to the shrine key locked with the key I made. I don't care which one of you holds it. You can tear each other to shreds for all care. Never think setting foot in the ritual chamber ever. Keep the door to the unfinished section of the maze locked all the times as a reminder for you to mind of vermin. The entrance is sealed with using the hidden letter, the torch, and the wall as the door. Torch in the wall next to the door. The door itself is the room where I sometimes relax. Yeah, I know. I want to go to a blood room and I want to relax. That sounds like such a terrible place to relax just because it smells like horribly of iron. To be fair, I don't hate the smell of blood, but at the same rate, you know, I feel like wouldn't smell amazing. Like, you know, if you ever, I guess, you know, how blood smells with that irony. It's not like it's the worst smell I've ever smelled. They definitely could be worse, but I feel like a bunch of dried and fresh blood stinking up a room. The paladin sword from the surface. I'll deal with that later.
That is quite a discovery.
So are they making the maze to keep them in there, or like to worship Baphomet? I just wonder, like, you know, I like how he died inside the chest. His body ragdolled. You can have a potion. You've earned it. I wonder where that,
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge. Did we find trouble? No, they did.
And as always, for some reason, I don't get my special turn. I always find that's really weird. Sometimes certain characters don't get a sneak attack for no reason.
No glory without risk.
That's weird. It wasn't showing the attack.
You've crossed the wrong mountain.
Wow, that was some force. He had a fucking dart on him. Here I was rushing the ranger because obviously, you know, I don't like range attacks. You know, at the very least with melee, you know what you're getting. When you're doing melee, you know, at least they have to be in fighting range of you, so you can always hit them back. Range is kind of like, you know, I'm shooting you from 50 feet away. Hope you didn't want to, you know, combat me in any way, shape, or form. And, you know, I understand the draw. Trying to go buckler. I wonder what the paladin sword she was talking about is. I also kind of wish there was a way to see, like, doors on the map. Just so I know if I forgot one. Maybe like you know, just like a little yellow symbol between rooms where the door might be. And like, or maybe like, you know, green and gray, or green and red, or something. So you know which ones you've opened, which ones you haven't opened, where you've been, where you need to go. Game contains optional but excessively dangerous opponents for groups of enemies that can only be experienced once.
They will break against our resolve.
It's not evil, is it? It's neutral. Just 5-point damage reduction, no reason. This has to be... Yeah, it has to be evil, though.
You won't survive me.
Jeez Louise.
Do not hold back. Endure this.
I'm alright. I'm alright.
Make every strike count.
So this is how it feels.
Into the fray!
Come on, lizard boy.
Crossed the wrong mongrel.
There we go.
I'm alright.
Yeah, not ideal, but you know. Managed to defeat a hard enemy. Assuming that she doesn't go super down again, we'd probably be fine. I mean, push comes to shove, we can always res her using the dragon skill, right?
Our path leads on. I was successful in my search.
Well, I don't know what the ring does specifically. I'm not gonna be able to tell. Do you know wear armor, do you? There you go. It's a little bit laggy when you put stuff on people, but you know. Whatever. Yeah, I know what that is, though.
I will guide us.
Okay. And so far, that water elemental was the most dangerous thing we fought. Well, obviously, other than, you know, when we shot that guy, but that was a cutscene, so, you know. Also, there seems to be a glasses thing here as well. It's kind of cool. I'm just trying to see if we have it possibly close to a level up with having taken out the elemental as well. I feel like we've been everywhere. Yeah, it's just the hole in the ground that's springing water. Somebody has that key. I don't know whom. Or who, I don't know. What's the difference? How, when does one use whom versus who? Who knows? Whom knows? Stretch. But that guy didn't have the key on him. I've killed everybody I've come across so far, so if somebody had the key, I would have picked it up. And I'm pretty sure that, considering I don't see any keys in this, and I'm imagining it's going to handle keys the same way it handled in the last game, which is not at all. No. Yeah. That There's a chance that somebody's got the key and they're on the other side of this door.
Godspeed.
What do we have here?
What am I supposed to do about that?
I'll watch your back. I hope you appreciate this.
Probably. Why did that happen?
Go for their hearts!
Cool, dead guards.
You won't survive.
Noise! Fuck the cleric. Fuck the cleric coming straight from the underground. Fell into a hole. Oh god. He was fucking segregated. These are just more of Hostess orders. Master work. Start with dagger. Shape some armor. I don't think I know the dart no matter how you spin it. Take that, take that. Bodies, maze builders lie where they're caught with earth elementals, rage by the earthquake. Those two light scattered next to their bodies. Oh. I thought those are guards. They're the guards from the town above.
The Inheritor! Guide my blade! I'll cut you wide open!
Strike as one.
Wow.
The light. Take you.
Cut off some hands. That's still, it's still 85.
I am helpful.
Not to be fair, if it was like XCOM, I would be using that. Because, you know, the old joke about XCOM's fucking stats. Numbers that just don't make sense. I'm guessing she's a dex build, yeah. She's some kind of rogue. I don't... What is her class as well? It's the next thing I should have checked at some point. She is a shaman spirit hunter. Creature just kept in my cage. There's another bent buzz. Creature is now loose. Hey, what gave it away? I like how these giant ass fucking stones they're just laying. Like, it makes sense, right? Like, obviously that's the design of the floor. Right? So it had to have some big ass fucking stones that were being laid. Doesn't change the fact that, damn son, those are some big rocks. Cambion. Yeah, spell resistance, but not damage resistance. Why is land in front?
Let us press on.
Sometimes. Fine. Fine game. Be like that.
Attack! Endure this!
Yeah, somebody said it's better to turn fucking changing their equipment. Haha, nerd.
The spirits demand your blood!
Nerd.
We shall overcome.
Shouldn't have started with a bow and arrow out.
Make every strike count.
I mean, you're gonna get one turn. Doesn't guarantee you're gonna hit anything though, sucker. Whoa! De-fucking-capitated. I really like that. I think that is absolutely cool. By every fucking measure of the word. When their head just pops off like that. Pick the lock.
I am helpful, am I not?
$1, $2, $3, $4. Daylight's coming, I want to go home. Bum ba da bum ba da ba bum bum. About that. He's experienced, but is he that much experience? And the answer is probably not. We'll leave him for now. You know, we don't have to be an asshole to all measures of elemental life. I'm wondering if I should head back up and with that door. Because we got the key. Right? And that's really what matters. That key. If there's any itch master work I can pick up as 100 gold, but you know. There's a limit to what I can carry. You know, you might probably be approaching that at some point. Spells about come. Your heroes are tired and run out of spells. Spells, set up a camp.
We march ahead.
So it's suggesting that I rest, which means that there's a chance that we might as well just go back down there, see what we can do with that, then rest. Rest in the demon summoning room. I know. Brandon, you just walked all the way up here to walk all the way back down. Yeah, I'm an idiot. You know. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. I am fucking dumb. I just wanted, you know. I want to consider my options, you know. You can't truly make a decision until you are aware of everything going on around you.
Our path leads on.
And that's the truth.
Are we in trouble yet? Do not hold back.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Yeah.
It should work. Is it flawed? You are today's sacrifice.
The wheel.
No glory without risk.
Go for their hearts.
He's in a little bit of danger. I mean, I should be just using Smite Evil, to be honest. We're gonna have to do a big fight soon, so. Yes. Now, if I were a smart man, and as I literally just said, I'm not, don't let me trick you, I would have an idea about what this puzzle might mean. And you never know. Even a dumb clock is right twice a day. And one might even say that a dumb clock is not right ever, Brandon. How would a clock be dumb? It's an inanimate object. That doesn't make any sense, Brandon. That's a terrible analogy. But one might also say that it is green, blue, red, green.
Always be ready for the worst.
There we go. There's yellow. It's hard to see. It's hard to tell the color of a painting through the mists and shades. Celia peers closely at the sword, which seems utterly unexceptional to you. Wait, this is... No, it can't be! Her eyes light up. I know this hilt. Radiance, the sword of the great Yaniel. Yanel. That is what this is, but it's meant to be in the Tower of Esterod with all the other relics. That's what I heard, at least. Well, of course, this rusted piece of metal must be the very same sword. Camilla rolls her eyes. I think you can merely wish that this were an illustrious sword of legend. I don't get it. I've seen this sword 100 times, in paintings in the hands of the Yaniel statue. I've even thought of going to Esterod Museum to see the real thing in person. How did it get here? Nothing. Now, nothing, I guess. But the sword was legendary in its day. People say that when Yaniel had it, the blade would glow, striking demons left and right. Soldiers would see Radiance's light from afar and take heart, rushing into the fray and winning. But I don't know what's wrong with it now, or how to restore its power. All I can sense is that they made a mockery of it. You're empathizing with an object? Extraordinary. Are all paladins so tender-hearted and sensitive? Sensitive in a way, yes. They are highly attuned to evil and everything wrought by demons. Radiance was in evil hands, and as a paladin, I can tell you they did nothing good to it. Where its sword spawns, either to your words or your touch, streaks of golden light dance across the blade. Just look at that! The sword seems to greet you. It senses the hand of a paladin, and seems relieved that we're freeing within demon's clutches. A good omen and a good find! No, you've never heard of Yaniel. She's famous over Galerion. She was a great woman. She was born in Mendelev, and when the crusade started, she couldn't just sit by. She dedicated her life to the crusade. People say she was audacious and spirited. She was always first in the battle, and she never sacrificed other people's lives for tactical advantage. That's how she's been remembered. The incredible warrior who seemed to blaze with righteous fury. In all the images of her, she looked capable of driving all demons back to the abyss single-handedly. But then something happened between her and her commanders. Maybe they envied her. Maybe they were more to it than just that. I don't know. But anyway, she went back to the World Wound without her fellow soldiers, and she just didn't survive the mission. She even brought back Crusaders. She rescued in there. She didn't just survive the mission. She even brought back Crusaders she rescued in there. Can you imagine? She died as she lived, with pride. She was one of the people defending Dresden, the very end. That's when she perished, Sheila founds. Sheila founds? She didn't take this the wrong way, but I hope that she died quickly. A hero's death. If she didn't, that means she was taken prisoner. Unspeakable horrors. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I hope you're right, inheritor in heaven. Can you hear us? We need your help more now than ever. Sounds like you're a big fucking fangirl, huh? Good thing we came back down here, huh? Somebody might be saying, "Oh, Brandon, you're dumb. Walking all the way back down here. Should've just rested up and left. Could have done it too." How are you doing, the wizard? I need anybody who can identify weapons, items. Let's not sleep right in the middle. Just, you know, for simplicity's sake. Yep. Prince will reduce the rate at which corruption of the abyss grows in rise. Concept. Huh.
Smells good. What is it?
I accidentally threw a moldy log on the fire. I'll cut you wide open.
Dude, you picked the fucking worst place to stand. No, wait. We're to finish the rest. No, you're not. Failed to weaken the impact of corruption. Failed to... So I need to do more religious. I don't think corruption is currently an issue for us. I have no fucking clue where I would even see that. I think you can see the rest of the dungeon through there. Okay. Coming up on what possibly might be our deaths. Oh, jeez. Here you are, huddled together like a herd of animals, pitiful monsters, not human or demon. Even tieflings are less defective than you. But I, your master, Savamelek, can make you better, stronger. I can satisfy your hunger, starveling of the dark. Submit to me. No, we are descendants of Crusaders. Trusting the great demon would be a betrayal of their memory. Hosilla. Well, who's the next descendant of the Crusader, who values old legends more than their life? Beasts, monsters in human guise, reveal your true nature. This is the sweet, wholesome flesh of a righteous ASMR. Eat, underground Crusaders. Eat the flesh of the Crusader from above. Find your true strength. Wow, I'm glad that we were able to intervene in this in any way, shape, or form. The absence of an answer is an answer too. You rush at the demon, but the air seems to grow thicker with every step. You feel like you're watching from underwater as you see mongrels fall to their knees, one after another, crawl to the ASMR's body. You hear the fangs tearing it through flesh. You hear the sloshing of blood. You hear the former mongrels snarl like animals, fighting for the most tender and juicy bits of meat. Companions writhe in agony. One clutches at their head, another doubles over. You feel saliva pool in your mouth. The metallic tang awakens hunger in you. The hunger turns to rage. This winged filth dares try to bind you to its will. It dares to tempt you with a sweet scent of meat, untainted by corruption. The wretched must die. Die! And still, its clarity remains with you. Somewhere deep down, beneath the veil of rage and anger, you sense the light trying to break through. By sheer force of will, you master your rage, and almost in response, warmth suffuses you from within. warmth and joy from a simple realization. You can win. You can save these people. The power of heaven bolsters and guides you. Its light breaks free and enveloping the Mongols grants them the gift of blissful oblivion. Lowering your gaze, you see a scarlet stain on your chest. The wound is reopened. Instead of blood pouring forth, you only see radiant light. The demon convulses in pain when the light reaches him. What are you? Destroy this vermin! Hostile points to you. He's already wounded. Wendug, kill! Oh no. Wendug was evil. Wendug silently emerged from the shadow. I am no longer your slave, Hosilla, but I will gladly kill anyone who pokes their nose at where it doesn't belong. Oh! Oh, this bitch! Eat shit. She's already dead. Oh my god, it'd be even funny if I hadn't gotten to level her up. Okay, cool game. O mighty Savamelech, your faithful servant invokes you now. Demons, protect your mistress.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
You won't survive me. Did you see that?
The spirits demand your blood.
We shall overcome.
Oh shit.
Endure this. Hold on, just a little more.
She frightened? What she is.
You are today's sacrifice.
Do not obey.
Whoa! That's a fucking knock and a half.
Well, are you going to finish me off? It's not exactly unexpected.
What else are we supposed to do with you? You're not just a traitor, you're a monster. The young ones believed you, and you lured them to a demon and watched them eat human flesh.
I was trying to make them strong. What have you done for them? What were you doing while I was looking for ways to bring strength to our tribe? You're useless, Lan.
I led by example. I trained. I tried to become stronger so I could go to the surface and maybe do something worthwhile with my stupidly short life. And I will do it. I might be the one to bring our whole tribe to the surface. But you? Why would you want any power that turns you into a monster? These young guys and girls, they trusted you. And they were turned into mindless animals, ready to eat corpses at a demon's command.
He's got a point.
I went through the same ritual as them, and I didn't become an animal. I conquered my anger. The anger that has been building and building in every one of us for decades. Unlike you, I have no intention of just lying down and politely accepting death. I will rise above all this, while you'll still be stuck with your pride, chewing on rats.
Bleeding deep wound in your chest is gone, like it was never there in the first place. Skin is totally smooth and unmarred.
cleric look at that.
I don't know, a hole in my chest that shoots holy light doesn't exactly seem demonic.
He had been marked by the abyss. Do you think some nobody priests will be able to help? No, the demons have branded this uplander. And judging by the smell of his blood pouring from his chest, the demons will be able to find him wherever he goes. And they'll find you too, lad. Better to serve a strong master than to eke out an existence in a dark hole with no hope. I am of the Neathers. Our lives are short, but we are hardier than humans. I realized a long time ago that I was capable of more than this life offered. And I follow whomever is the strongest.
I thought you were better than that. I thought you were proud of your heritage, but you're willing to crawl on your belly before anyone who's even a little bit stronger than you. You're not a mongrel. You're a cave slug. You have no understanding of the meaning of family or tribe.
Oh, so now you think you know everything about me. You're one of the best hunters in the tribe. It benefited me to ingratiate myself with you. So I acted in a way that pleased you. You're all bark and no bite. Farewell, Uplander. Next time I won't spare you.
Wow. I can't believe he missed.
She's gone. But next time, she won't get away. Damn it, Windu. Why
I
can't
forgot to
you
fight the
go
elemental. Whatever.
Anyway, there's no point crying over spilt milk. Give me a couple of minutes. I'll bring the chief and the rest. I need to clear my head.
Chief Soul appears planked by mongrels. The journey has taken its toll on him. His breath is labored and his sweat is dripping from his bloated face. What? What shish? And Eva gives a low whistle. Well, I'll be damned. Turns out old Halrun isn't as crazy as we all thought. There really were demons down here. I should listen to the set patrol down here, damn it. Horgus' lips curls in distaste. He tries to keep his distance from the unconscious mongrels. Yeah, right. Like, this was enough, like, it wasn't enough that I sniffed out every damn shadow in the city. Everybody knows the stories of demons living beneath the streets in Canabras. Those tales are as old as the Crusades themselves. I messed up, but you fixed my mistakes, so thanks. Place is overrun with demons, but it's not the worst part. Wendug. She's been working for the demons all this time, luring the young, strong mongrels into the maze. He nods the unconscious mongrels. He might still need to save, we might still need to save these ones. They can't get any stupider, that's for sure. But they might be meaner than they were before. Suppose all teenagers are monsters in their own way. Soul laughs a bit, but it comes out as a rasp. Ah, Lan, we don't waste words on people who don't listen to tribe. You tell the tribe, you act the fool, you suffer the consequences. Soul gives a ragged sigh. Wendog, how could she? She deceived them and then she left. What becomes of us? Chin up, Chief. The kids you rescued are safe now. The demons are gone and the traitor's been dealt with. All's well that ends well. I don't know what they'll be like when they come to, but look after them, Chief. They went through something horrific today. Not everyone is capable of enduring something like that. It will change them forever. As long as they can hunt, the rest can wait. Uplander and you, Lan, you saved them. Only the gods can salvage their souls. But we are a tribe. We think of something, and when we're stronger, they can go to the surface. The time has come. Chief, I think I'm going to lead the visitors to the surface. I'm going to keep going. Something interesting is happening out there in the world. Maybe it's my chance to do something useful than skinning cave rats. Soul heaves a sigh. Harf. You never were one of us. You always looked up. You don't think I see these things? Our life is not for you. You must go. But where? Where is the way out? Beats me, but these beasts down here got here. Beats me, but these beasts got down here somehow. Len searches Hosilla's body and shows you some papers and a key. I don't know what these documents are, but I'm sure this key will come in handy. Anevila's eyes quickly skim over the letter, and she passes it to you. Those cheeky sons of... This is all the information on the cultists in the city. Their meeting places, passwords, their secret hideouts. I think we should show this to whoever's in charge of Canibus right now. As soon as we get back to the surface, we'll find out what's what. Is there... That's not her. Where's her body? Nah, medium cartel is bad. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll probably get to go to town and sell some things. But we're gonna end it here. It's 12 o'clock. And, you know, I'm done for the night. I would like to do my things before I have to go to work. Thank y'all for watching. Do the stuff to do the videos that you like. You know, like, comment, subscribe, follow that stuff. Follow on Twitch. Come check us out, man. Let me know how you feeling about this. Obviously, I'm going to keep going, but tomorrow's going to be RimWorld. So, look forward to that. I've got some... I just keep adding more mods in. I just added a quarry one so we could, you know, hopefully quarry out some more stone and whatnot. But, thank y'all for watching. Again. Again, brain falls back on that default. And I will see y'all, next time. I.e., tomorrow, probably. Bye!